Praise be Jesus and Mary. In the first reading, we have St. Paul writing to Titus, explaining to him how to govern the church where he is, and he says, "Remind them to be under the control of magistrates and authorities, to be obedient, to be open to every good enterprise." So St. Paul, telling his bishop Titus to remind his flock, his people, to be under the control of magistrates and authorities, to be obedient. Now here's what the commentary, this is the Haydock commentary, what it has to say about that. At the time St. Paul wrote this epistle to Titus, there were many Jews, particularly the disciples of Judas of Gallon, who maintained that the Hebrews were under no obligation of obeying any other than God, or at the most rulers of their own nation. St. Paul here admonishes them that in conformity with the example and instruction of our divine Savior, they ought likewise to obey every other temporal prince set over them by the Almighty, with one exception, provided they commanded nothing contrary to the law of God. Okay, so we see how those who govern do wield a real authority, and sometimes they make it known to us in brazen ways, like when you see on the street side the sign that says, "Buckle up, it's the law." I don't know who it was who thought to write that on a sign and just throw it in everybody's face. I mean, yes, you wield authority, but there's no need to throw it in everybody's face. Buckle up, it's the law. Well, okay, we'll obey. It's good to wear your seatbelt. I don't know if we need to make it a law. That can be debated. But when it comes to laws which are against the law of God or against the natural law, then at that point it is really no law at all. Okay, an unjust law is not a law at all. And the Christian, any person really, cannot obey that law. So when or if there happen to be laws that require doctors to perform abortions or pharmacists to sell contraceptives, right? These are unjust laws, and they are not laws at all, and they cannot be obeyed. Okay, we must obey God first and the natural law. And this is where the state must recognize the authority of the church, because the Roman Catholic Church, instituted by the Son of God, has been given real authority by him. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, said to the apostles, "Go and teach, and he who hears you hears me." And so the church is the authority on earth given by God to authentically and authoritatively interpret and teach the natural law. And so, when the teaching of the church regarding the natural law is in contrast with that of the state, well, we must obey God rather than men. And so we can see in our own times, things are kind of coming to a head, aren't they? Kind of coming to a point of conflict. And so we must be ready to follow the examples of the saints and martyrs throughout the ages, to be willing to shed our blood if necessary in obedience to God and his laws rather than to man and his unjust laws. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.